Hey guys, it's Nick and Kristin with another episode of Ask J&A. Today's topic is dreadful.
It's awful. Sorry, but we got to talk about it.
But for the CPAs, we know we love you. But today we want to talk about taxes and CPAs. It's here we are in March. We're knocking on D-Day. So it's really prevalent. We're having a lot of conversations right now of tax concerns, tax issues, tax victories.
Yes.
But largely what we talk about is just kind of how, am I working with the right CPA?
Right.
Or do I need to work with a CPA? Or just a lot of uncertainty, I think, come in times like this. So we want to take a few minutes to talk about who we think, how you should engage that. How do you find the right CPA? Are you working with the right CPA? And if you are, do you know what questions to ask them?
Sure.
To make sure? Because, one misstep in this realm can cost you significantly.
A lot, up to 40%.
Yeah.
So what we want to do is be mindful of understanding when it's important to work with a CPA, when you need one, and then maybe if you're going to interview a CPA, what are some questions that it would be important to ask?
Yeah.
I think part of this industry and also with taxes is we don't even know what to ask.
Yeah.
So we've put together a couple things that might be helpful.
Yeah. So I think the first question, Kristin, for me is, do I need to work with a tax preparer? And that typically is in a big box solution, H&R Block, those type of solutions. Do it myself. Or do I need to look at hiring a CPA, which oftentimes an independent shop or maybe a group of CPAs work together, but really trying to understand which do I need to work with and why.
Sure.
And I know there's no steadfast rule to this, but...
Yeah, there's a lot of questions and you can really kind of choose your path. In our experiences, it's been easier if you have income coming in from one source. You work one traditional job and then you just pay your bills. A lot of times a tax preparer can take care of those simple things for you. So whether you want to do it yourself or you want to go to a small shop, go for that. When you have multiple sources of income, that means real estate, business, personal income, other sources, you likely need a CPA to help mitigate that risk.
Get to the point where you're going to start taking income from your own resources.
Absolutely.
If you're going to start distributing out from your savings or nest egg, it's almost a necessity at that point in time.
Right.
Sure.
We want to make sure that you don't make a misstep, and we'll do our part for the financial side, but you really need a professional to back you up with the CPA in that.
Yeah. So I would think, a good rule of thumb maybe for this and kind of is just, it's about income. Where's your income coming from? If you and so if you evaluate, if my income's coming from a business, a traditional job, or I'm getting a W-2, and you're probably fine.
Right.
If you're having multiple income sources, or if you are producing your own income, meaning you're self-employed or you're taking distributions,
Right.
Then
At retirement, you're essentially turning your assets you've created into a business.
Yeah.
So you got to think of it like that, which means you're going to need a professional.
Auditing. If not, ask Enron how that worked out for them.
You're going to need help.
So having a good auditing source works. Yeah. But once you decide, once you're in your agreement, I need a CPA. How do you find one for one? And
Right. There's a ton of great CPAs, especially in the area and all in the region. So what we like to do is just give you a few questions you might want to ask. So I'm going to run through just a list of those for those. One huge one you need to know is how much am I going to be charged?
Yeah.
And when do you bill? So in that realm of is it per document? Is it per phone call? Is it per hour? And how does that work? So that's going to be a big one. What happens in an audit? So what does that mean and what liability are you going to have as the client? How often do you meet and talk with clients like us, or would you be willing to meet and talk with other professionals on my team? So a lot of times we like to sit down with a CPA, especially towards the end of the year, to make sure we've taken care of our clients' needs with the CPA.
Yeah, I think that's probably a huge important. But I think knowing when you can talk to them and if you can talk to them, that's the big difference between tax preparers and CPAs.
Right.
A lot of tax preparers are short in time frame. They're available from January to April, and you're kind of on your own after that. Most CPAs that have bookkeeping services and they're just available throughout the year,
Right.
Having accessibility, because tax issues are not a 3-month window. Tax issues are a year-long thing you need to work with. And then two, we're big in having a good team. Like Kristin said, once you are retired, your resources are a new business. And just like any business, you need to have a CEO, you need to have a CFO, you need to have legal, you need to have accounting. So when you have that team, you need to make sure they're communicating with each other.
Right.
So I think that's a huge one.
And the last few I'd say are how do you review documents, or are there special documents you need to review throughout the year to assure you're on track for your taxes? And then what other services do you offer? Are you consulting? Are you helping in any other veins the industry. So I think those are important to ask. And be sure around this time, we like to ask them, what do they prefer to drink?
Yes, no doubt. If you've ever met a CPA mid-March,
they drink.
That's a heavy,
they need it.
They need it. If they don't, they probably need it. But I think the only one I'd echo is just, make sure they work with clients that, ask them who they typically work with. If you are a new retiree and they don't typically work with retirees, I'd maybe look and make for other options. Or if you were thinking about you're going to retire to open up and you're going to pursue your passion, you're going to open up a new job, or you're going to
start a new
part-time or a hobby, ask them, do you help clients with setting up these new, because there's a lot of intricacies when you do that. So
Absolutely.
I would get a frame of who you typically work with, and if they don't mirror what you think your life's going to look like, maybe look
then
for
keep
other
searching.
options.
At this point, it's about just finding the right fit for you, and everybody's different in what they need.
It's like most professionals. I mean, they are relatively niched, and lawyers are niched, and we're niched, and so I think it's really important to make sure you're certain. But it's great news. Like I said, I think while tax season's never fun to talk, but at least
it's never fun, but it's a necessary.
If you have the right partner, it can make it a lot easier. So find the right partner. If we can help in any way, so we certainly have a Rolodex of names that we trust, and we'd be happy to provide that. So we thank you for your time, and have a good day.
Thanks.